What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're talking today about spinning kicks, how to maintain balance. Something that happens to a lot of people, especially when they're learning, is they go to execute the spin, they throw and they end up falling to the side or they fall backwards. You know, you hit your opponent and you end up getting knocked back. You miss, you end up falling down. Let's learn how to avoid all of that in today's episode. There's one day, only one day left for the early bird pricing on my course where we focus on defense. You guys have heard me preach it on the channel time and time again. It is so important when you think of somebody like Mike Tyson, somebody Iron Mike who can throw those awesome power shots. People seem to forget that his defense was so fantastic. He would move forward, have his head rolling from side to side, had that nice little peekaboo style. In my ultimate defense course, we're going to be focusing on defense for boxing, kickboxing, MMA, Muay Thai. We're going to have pre-recorded segments. We're going to have live segments where you guys can talk with me. So much to learn. So excited to share this once in a lifetime course. Nobody else has anything like it. Link in the description below. Get your early bird pricing, one more day left. All right, balance. We're doing some spinning stuff. It makes sense that it's going to be harder to maintain balance in a technique where we're throwing our body into rotation as opposed to something where we're just standing here and square. But if we're going to execute these fun techniques, and they are fun to throw, we want to make sure our opponent is going down when we hit them and we're staying on our feet, not the opposite way. Now, the very first thing that I want you to focus on in a spinning kick, contrary to some other fight styles though, is I want your head to try and stay fairly high and fairly above your foot. Yes, there are capoeira styles where you'll see them do something like put their hand down on the floor and throw. And yes, you can generate power, but if you miss with that hand on the ground, you're gonna fall over and the chance of actually connecting is very limited. That might work for somebody who's high level, but when you're starting off and you're wanting to learn the basics, it's much easier for me to keep my head high and throw my technique as opposed to me bending over where my head drags me in the opposite direction. So focus, just like when we do on round kicks, the head stays above the standing leg and it goes high up in the air. We don't want to have our head falling to the side on basics, and we don't want our head falling to the side on the basic spinning kicks. The next thing, which I know a lot of people struggle with, is starting the spin. How do you start it and not lose your balance? Your foot, the foot, let's say that's in the lead. What is it going to do? We want to make sure that it starts by disconnecting the heel. That in itself will be a great way to lead off this spin. I could be standing here and just do that motion and still maintain my eyesight, my connection with my opponent. And then from there, I can maintain that eyesight for as long as possible. So we start with that little turn and then we move into what do the eyes do. A lot of people struggle on their balance when throwing spinning kicks very simply because their eyes are not staying locked on the target. And we want to move like a ballerina when we do a spin in terms of our head. We don't want to do this, keep our head in line with our chest and watch the whole room pass by. We want to keep our eyes here as long as we can and then as quick as we can refine the target. So when I go to do my spin, I see you as much as possible. And now you're not going to get dizzy. And there's less chance that midway through this kick, you're gonna start going, whoa, the room's passing around, and oh, I don't know what's happening. You miss the target, you feel off balance. No, head, just like an owl at the beginning, turn as far as you can and then whip it and refine that target. That will help immensely with your balance. The next thing which will assist you greatly, especially on a spinning wheel kick, spinning hook kick, whatever you prefer to call it, is focus on the reed chamber at the end of the kick. If I come along and I keep this leg straight the entire time, straight, it's gonna start pulling me to the side, off balance me. But if I remember at the end to get that little heel flick, now from here it's easier to pull my leg back in and get myself a little bit more controlled. Much easier to pull pull the energy back to the body and then gently place your foot back down. And that's when we can start doing multiple spinning hook kicks in a row. Not that I would ever do that in a fight, but if you can do 2 or 3 spinning hook kicks in a row, 1 is super easy. Now let's talk a spinning side kick, because that is very common. We see it thrown very often in the UFC, many other fight styles. I love a spinning side kick. What is one of the more common errors that people make? They over-rotate, and it makes it very hard to feel balanced. So what do I mean by over-rotate? If I start facing towards you and I want to kick this direction, if I complete this spin where my chest starts to get towards you, now when I hit the target, I'm gonna feel like, oh, I have to step through. And there are styles where you can go kick, step through, but you wanna be balanced as opposed to, oh, and stepping over here. One of the keys, the ways to help with this is only rotate to about here. Hit the target and then bounce right back out. You feel so balanced when you do that. You're just here, you hit, boom, and right back to where you started, similar to the spinning hook kick when we were talking about what does this leg do after it strikes, it pulls back in. I don't want to leave it out there, oh, and feel like my body weight's getting pulled away from me. So less rotation on a spinning side kick so that you're feeling very balanced and you almost expose your back, your glutes to your opponent, you kick out before getting that nice controlled rechamber. The final tip I have for you on maintaining balance during a spinning kick is stop trying to go 100% power. If this is the power of a basic kick, something like a front kick or a side kick, and you're stationary, a spinning kick is much more powerful. You can gain so much power. So because you can kick that much harder, you don't have to put in 100% effort. When you do, you're gonna come out feeling very unbalanced. You can pull back the power to like, I don't know, maybe 80% and still be kicking much harder than a normal stationary kick. And you're gonna create so much damage, but you're gonna hit your target. You're not gonna lose balance. It's the difference between me going, okay, I have to kill the guy on this spinning hook kick. You throw your body's like, comes off and you feel unbalanced, as opposed to me going, okay, I just come through. Whoop. And still, if I connect with that spinning hook kick on somebody's jaw, you know they're going out. Even when it's just a chill, whoop, not many people are gonna be able to take that. There's no padding, you're landing with your heel, oh, it's gonna be bad. So draw back on the power that you try to put into it. Still good power, but it doesn't need to be like, when you hit as hard as you can, just boom. Same thing. And this will help your balance immensely. So that's it, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. Remember, only 1 day left on the early bird pricing. Make sure you hit that link below and get yourself registered now to save good money. As always, train hard, and I will see you back here soon for another video.